we've talked about all of this, and you're like, Cassie, okay, we're farming, but how are we going to do it? So how do you create your farm? So what we're going to talk about today, it is an app, but I prefer to use it on my desktop or my laptop. It's way easier to navigate. It's way easier to get through and create your farm. But if you're on the go and you need a little bit of information about a property that you're about to walk into, that you're showing, that's when the app comes in real handy. You can jump on, look through it real fast. But as far as like preparing for a listing presentation or creating your farm, it's so much easier to do it on your laptop. So that's kind of why I teach from this point instead of the app itself. So it's compatible for Apple users. I'm sorry if you're an Android user. I'm so sorry. They are working on it for Android. They've been working on it for about 3 or 4 months. We were told at the beginning of the year that it was supposed to roll out. That has not happened yet, but I do know it's on the horizon. It's easy to use tools backed by powerful analytics for your next level farming. So I will tell you that they pull from tax records, MLSs, and also credit reports. So all of the information that's compiled into this software, those are the 3 things that it pulls from. There is about a 30 to 60 day lag on things. Your smaller communities, your residential communities, you're going to see those update a lot faster than you are the rural areas. That's just, and also per county, because obviously we know that some counties take a little bit longer to get things recorded. So take those things into consideration. So this is Fluid Pro. If you have the opportunity, I see Misty's already logged in, so if y'all want, y'all can look over there. I want this to be hands-on, but like I said, pay attention if you don't have a log on and just take notes. So then whenever you do get your log on and I send you that video, it's going to make so much more sense. So you can use this nationwide. So this is, you can look up properties all across the United States. This was really cool to be able to do for a lender a few months back. He goes, I've got a client in Nevada and they're looking at a specific property and I just need to know the year that it foreclosed. And he's like, I can't find anybody to help me out on this. And I was like, please hold. So I looked up this property and was able to send him the report and show in 2008 where it was foreclosed. He goes, that's literally all I needed was the year. So once again, if you've got investors from out of state or that they're wanting to invest out of state, this is another great opportunity to go in there and look at those properties. So once again, you'll have your locations on. So whenever you log in, it's going to pick up wherever you are geographically. So if you're looking in Tyler, but you're in Dallas, you're going to have to put that address in for it to pop up. Otherwise, it's going to put you smack dab in Dallas for wherever your locations are set. I'm going to go over here and pick a property, but first let's talk about the colors. I'm going to verbally tell y'all this, but once again, don't worry. It's going to be in the video for y'all to recap on it, okay? So the green, as you see, is currently for sale. The yellowish means that it's pending. The black means that it's been recently sold within the past 6 months. And then see the flames? That's where it gets good, y'all. Those are your hot properties. Your hot properties are going to be high equity, high interest, and high tenure of 5 years plus. It could be one of those things. It could be all 3 of those things. But high equity, high interest, or high tenure. So we're just going to click on this 429 South Bodart. And it's going to take you to what we call the property profile. So this is going to be where all the meat and potatoes about this property are. It's going to give you everything that you think you want to know about the property and probably more that you didn't even know that you wanted to know about the property. We're going to scroll down. As you can see, it's hitting probably 2 of the 3 of those hot property things. You're pushing 5 years in the property from the last time that it was last on the market. And then they have an estimated equity of $110,000. So how do they find out what the estimated equity is in? We've got those credit reports. They're able to see the last open lien that was on the home and what the financing was for it. And then they just calculate what that payment was from the time. So if they had been paying over, which we always tell people pay $50 over, pay $100 over, that estimated equity is going to be a little bit different. So they're not able to see like what the payments have been made. They only know if the payment has not been made, right? So if they're paying over, it's not going to show you that, and it's going to skew that estimated equity a little bit. But once again, that's where that estimated equity is coming from and all of that. Overview of the property, it's going to give you information, and as you see, there's blue here. Everything that's in blue means that there's more information behind there. So this was on the property facts. I hit that blue button, and once again, it's going to give you just more information. With new agent, well, not new agents, seasoned and new agents, sometimes it's hard to find the property description, the legal description, because it's been recorded different ways, different times, right? So you can go in here to the additional details on the property profile. This is going to be how it was recorded last. So this is going to give you the most up-to-date legal description of the home. Once again, just a place to go and be able to check yourself on that. Scroll down, it's going to give you the open mortgage and the trust deed mortgage from the current owner. This is another great way whenever you get your Schedule A back and you've got a contract or you're going into that listing presentation, take a look here. This is going to show you the last person that was vested in title. So if you go and you're like, oh, John Smith, we're selling your home, but you go on here and you see that it's Terry and Lee, that brings up one of those red flags, so you can kind of start. Be like, okay, well, who's John Smith? Oh, well, that's my dad. He passed away and we got the house. Red flag, you got some heirship issues, right? So go ahead and send that listing agreement to us, to Truly Title, and we'll go ahead and open title for you if you think that there's going to be red flags on it. I highly encourage anytime you go into a listing presentation and divorce is mentioned, death is mentioned, or any of those things that you're taught to kind of bring up red flags, send us that listing agreement so we can legally go ahead and open title so that we can maybe start working on some of those things, that we can get some of those questions answered for you, just so that you know once you get that contract and you've got an executed contract, it's going to go a lot smoother whenever you got that going for you. So once again, we're just on that additional information. It's going to show you, on this one it doesn't, but there are going to be several properties where it's going to show you the last title company that it closed. So why is this important? Whenever you're going into a listing presentation, maybe one of the questions you ask is, do you have a current survey? And they say, oh my gosh, I bought this house 15 years ago. I was supposed to keep up with that, right? Well, yeah, you probably should have, but a lot of the times you can go in here and see the last title company that they closed, and we are required, if the survey was given to us, to keep those on file. So what I encourage you is to get your client to call that last title company that they closed with to get a copy of it. Number one, if you call, they're going to harass you and say, well, if you close here, we have this information. And then you got to go through the gamut of, I don't want to close with you, not this time, whatever that looks like. I'm closing it truly, all the things. The next is if we call, usually they'll charge us or not give it to us. And if they charge us, then we have to disclose that on the CD. So get your client to call and say, hey, call and ask for a copy of it. It has your name on it. You own it. You just need a good copy of it. So that's best case scenario. Worst case scenario is they call and they say, no, we're not going to give it to you. But it's worth a shot before they have to maybe take on that amount to get a new survey. So I'll show you another one that I know has the title company in there, but it'll just have the title company, reach out to them and go from there on it. So we're going to go back one page. We're going to go right back to that property profile page. So it's that one that we were on. We're going to scroll down just a little bit more past the property profile or property information, and it's going to show you the ownership. It's going to tell you that there's an open mortgage on it. It's going to tell you last vested person in title and that estimated balance. You can go here. Oh, let's go on there. You click on that, is there an open mortgage? It's going to tell you who the mortgage is with. It's going to show you their interest rate. It's going to tell you whenever they started it back in 2020. It's going to give you all the information on what that open mortgage is. Pretty cool, right? You can go down here to view transaction history. And for us real estate nerds in the room, it's going to tell you every open lien that's been ever put on the property and how it was vested. So it's really cool because you can go back and see all the different interest rates. So whenever someone's like, oh my gosh, my interest rate's 4.9 now, well, you can go back on some of these and see that their interest rate was like 12% and all those things. So as women, I like to think that we're FBI agents. Like, you give me a name and a city and I'm going to give you all the information about someone. This did not help. I get in here and I'm like, oh, so my daughter's dating someone. What's the parents' names? Hold on, let me look them up. So once again, we're going to go back 2 pages, back to that property profile page. see more ownership information, it's just going to give you the transaction history of that home. This is a great way to go back and look and see if every time title had been transferred appropriately, to help make sure there's no cloud in title. So just a way for you to be able to look and see that transfer every time it happened. Go back one more. Once again, going right back to that property profile page. So property value, this is going to be from the tax record. So this is the tax bill that they got, was that $189,000 right there. See property value details. We do pull from Zillow and other ones. Don't hate us. We have to use what we got. But that assessed information is going to be from the your tax, Smith County. Y'all know what I'm saying. Sorry. Once again, going right back to that property profile page. Okay. So how many people love doing comparative market analysis? It's like your favorite thing in the world to do, right?
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah. Do you really?
Frick no.
She said frick no. So it's 50-50 if this works for me. But what this will do is it will give you anywhere from 1 to 5 properties in the area that have recently sold that you may have not thought about to be able to do that CMA on. This one only has 1. There's been one that I did when I was at the office. I guess it picked up in Holly Tree. It had like 8 properties. And the agents I was doing a class, they were like, that is 8 properties that fall into where you could, compare those to the one your listing agreement or your listing appointment. So that's on that property profile page. It's hit or miss if it works, just because it depends on what properties are over there and all that good stuff. But that view sells comparable right there can change lives. So use that whenever you're going in there and looking. I was going to say Googling the properties. When you go in here and start looking at the properties, just click on it and see what pops up. If it helps you, great. If not, that's okay. There's going to be things in here that you find super beneficial and you're like, I'm going to need that for the rest of my life. And there's other things in here that aren't going to work for you and you see no value in it. That's okay, because there's another agent down the road that thinks that's amazing and what you think's amazing is not. So just use what makes sense to you. And the other stuff, just know you have it if needed. So if the home was in foreclosure, it would tell you right here. It would also give you a blue button right underneath this. So if this said, is it actively available? Or if it's in foreclosure, it would say yes. And would have one of those blue buttons that you click on and would show you who the foreclosure. But if you have a property that you're looking at specifically, you'll be able to go in here and see if it's in foreclosure or not. So once again, it just gives you more information. There is a net sheet down here. I'm going to be honest, I don't like this net sheet. I like the title capture net sheet because it's property specific and it's office specific. This is just one that you can jump in real quick if you're already there, just to kind of mess with the numbers. Everything in blue can be changed, so you can change those numbers to show whatever you need it to. So let's say that this is your listing and you want to print this off, or you're fixing to go into this listing presentation on this property. You can hit share. Whenever you log into Fluid Pro, it wants you to set up your headshot and company logo. I would highly suggest doing that because none of this is branded with Truly Title. None of this is going to have Truly Title at the big orange on the bottom. We wanted to make sure that you had something in your tool belt that was branded and marketed to you. So be sure to put your information in here. Be sure to put your headshot, your company logo. So whenever you go and print this report, it has all of your stuff on it. We'll hit continue. Maybe there was some stuff on that property profile page that you don't think your clients need to see. Maybe they don't want to know the transaction history. They could give 2 beans about it. Click it off. It won't show up on the report. So anything and everything on this you can toggle on or off for it to show up on the report that I'm about to show you. So you can download this report, you can email it directly to your client, you can print it off. I think it's real cool to have whenever you're in a listing presentation, it in front of you, and maybe instead of having your computer open and doing a slideshow, but you have all of that information in front of you. Go in and highlight the information that you really want to talk about with those people so that it's drawn to your eye and you're able to get in there. But this is the report. It makes it into a really pretty little thing here. And once again, anything that you didn't want on there, you could toggle on or off. But that's the report there. I'm going to go back to property detail. I'm going to go back 1. So that is just the property profile. You can look up any property, once again, in the United States. You will also, once you zoom in here, all the gray dots are properties. Those are just ones that are not recently sold, recently listed, hot property. But once again, you can look up by address or owner name. You can also look up by LLCs. So if you have an investor that has all of his properties wrapped up in an LLC and you're working with him, you'll be able to look it up by that way up there in the top, what are y'all looking at, left-hand corner, and see every property that's listed under their LLC. This is really great for lenders too, because maybe sometimes they don't know that their property profile, the interest rates are a little bit higher, so that they can go in and kind of do that research of what those interest rates are on some of the other properties. So let's say that that property was yours. You sold it in 3 hours. You had an executed contract, was $10,000 over. This is a great community that you want to start farming, and this is where you decided to go. How do I get the addresses? How do I get the names? How do we get to business? So if you look over here, you see the little wheat symbol for farming. It's my cute little pun. Are you ready? Then you go over here to draw mode. Go to draw mode, and it's going to be able, let me move this. Can I move it? Perfect. Okay. It also allows you to go into satellite view if that's what you want. So what that does is if you're focusing in on a farm or a community, it allows you to go to satellite view. So whenever you draw your draw mode out, you're making sure not to get commercial properties in it. Now, if you are a commercial agent, this is great for commercial agents as well. It's going to give you all that same information on commercial properties. But for the time being, satellite stresses me out whenever I'm trying to do this draw mode. So let's just go back to default if you don't mind. Go back to draw mode here, and then I'm just going to draw with no rhyme or reason. Do not make fun of my rhombus that I'll create. In this property, there are 2,869 properties in this farm. So let me tell you, each farm, you can have up to 2,000 addresses. You can create as many farms as you want on here. So you can have one in all 4 corners of the county. You can have one in Van Zandt County, whatever that looks like, whatever area you work. You can create as many farms as you want, but each farm will only hold 2,000 addresses. Do I think you can farm 2,000 addresses effectively? No. That's a lot. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of time. But the great thing is I'm not going to tell you. I'll show you. So, once again, we've got 2,869 properties. If you did not have enough properties or you have too many, you can go in here and shrink it down if you need. I'm going to shrink it down just so we can get right at that 2,000. So, perfect. You hit preview, and it's going to give you the farm preview. You've got the 1,800 addresses, 828 are owner occupied, 1,018 of them are non-owner occupied. There are a lot of commercial businesses in this farm that I just created because it's just a broad one. Once you're able to zoom in and focus, you're going to be able to get that farm, that whatever community that you're doing, and these numbers will look a little bit better. But you're non-owner occupied. Those are your rental, those are your investments. And it's going to give you the owner's name and number, or excuse me, name and address. There's 91 hot properties. Is 91 properties something you could effectively farm? Absolutely. So whenever I tell my agents, you've created this farm, you've dedicated the next 2 to 3 years on it, start with those hot properties. Those are going to be the ones that are more apt to have that conversation with you about their equity in their home, about what they're wanting and willing to do. Another great thing is once you get to this portion, you are able, once again, it's a community that you're going to invest that time in. You can zoom in here. So let's say that this block is something that you are farming. You've sent out mailers. They've responded to you. You can click on each of the dots and look up the address and have notes in these properties. Put the name and number to whoever the contact was there. Let's say you got your rear end chewed and you said, I do not want to talk to Miss Jones ever again. You can hit do not contact on here, and it will take it out of your farm so that you don't have to deal with her and get your rear ringed ever again. Once again, just another way for you to continually be that expert for that community. Because what happens is once you've created this farm, you are going to get emails anytime anything changes in that community. Something listed, something pended, someone refinanced, the deed was changed. You honestly get to be the sheriff of that community and know exactly what's happening in regards to the real estate. So make sure, once again, when you're creating these farms and you're going to dedicate that time to it, you're going to get those email updates whenever anything happens. There's a community that one of my agents farms out in Montgomery County, and she's like, every day I get an email about something that's changed in it. She goes, I feel so nosy about this community. And I'm like, do you love it? And she's like, I do. So once again, you just go up here and hit save, and it's going to keep notes on every property that you have in that farm. Say they said, hey, you know what, I'm not interested now, but call me in 6 months. Set it up to call you in 6 months, and you'll get that alert on your email saying, hey, you said call Miss Jones in 6 months. At 6 months, give her a call. Once again, it's just helping you stay effective in what you're doing. So anyways, this is that farm that we just created. I get super excited about this part. So you hit export. It puts it in this beautiful spreadsheet for you. I mean, it just puts it right into Excel, and it breaks down on the tabs down here everything you could possibly think to have. You've got your complete farm. You've got your owner occupied. You've got your non-owner occupied. Obviously, you keep going. And here's the bread and butter, my friends. Those are all your hot properties. What was it, 90 of them that was showing to be hot properties? That's going to be the hot properties. It's going to give you the name. It's going to give you the property address. If you scroll over, it's going to, everything that was in that property profile page is pretty much going to be in this spreadsheet, and it's going to allow you to filter. You can filter by bed, by bath, by square footage, by property lot size. So you're going to be able to go in here and filter any way that you want. Say you have a buyer that wants to live in this community, and there's no homes for sale on it, but they know that they want a 3-bedroom, 2-bath with a certain amount of square footage lot. Go to your hot property and filter it to those filters that they've asked for, and then you might have a list of 6 hot properties that fit all that criteria, that maybe you can send that handwritten email or, letter. Say, I have someone that wants to buy your house right now. Once again, you can use and abuse this in any way you could think. Truly Title has given us a program. It's only for the business development people. We do not release it to y'all because we pay for it. If you are invested in a community, and this is the one that you are going to choose to farm for the next 2 to 3 years, what you'll do is you will save this Excel spreadsheet. You will email it over to me, and you're going to give me at least 24 to 48 hours because you're nice. I run it through a program that we have, and I have about a 55 to 70% turnaround on getting email addresses and phone numbers. I will tell you that the list has already been scrubbed for do not call. So if they're on the do not call list, that list, it's already been scrubbed. Not to say you still won't get chewed out, because we know the world and environment we live in, but I mean, if you want to be sassy, you can be like, well, you're not on the do not call list, so maybe you should do that. So, not that you would ever be sassy. I don't know where that came from, but once again, you'll send that Excel spreadsheet to me. I'll run it through our program, and I'll send it back to you with the names, addresses, and all of that. What I do when I get it, just to let you know, when you send the Excel spreadsheet to me, I delete all of the information except for the address and name. Because of what I run it through, it doesn't want to know the last sales price, all the interest rates. So I take all of that out of it just so you have the address, the name, and it'll show phone number or email. So another great thing about this is once you have this and say that you want to farm these hot properties, take all of this information out except for the name and the address. You email it over to Agent Print Pro, and whatever they have created for you as far as your mailers, they just take that list that you provided them and just mail it out for you. What you decide to do with it is on you. So it's one of those, you can lead the horse to water, but you can't make it drink. Well, we're leading you to the water. We're giving you all the tools. What you do with it is going to be what you do with it. But reach out to me if you have any questions in regards to this. Shoot me over a text message. Once again, this is that Fluid Pro app. Use it. Get in there. Try to break it. Get in there. If things come up, shoot it over to me. It will not be perfected unless we have agents that are actively helping us find this research out and update it. And sometimes I had an agent here in Tyler reach out to me about 2 weeks ago, and she goes, oh, well, they added onto the property, the square footage isn't the same. Well, we pull that square footage from the tax records. So what I told her is that send the new survey, if there was a new survey when it was bought, sold last, and send that to the tax company to fix that. That's nothing we can fix on our end, but it does give you that tool to know who to reach out to update that information. And maybe updating square footage wasn't a good idea, because I don't know about y'all, but tax bills are coming out, and I don't know if I want to update my square footage. So use that how you want. But if y'all have any questions, y'all let me know.